and welcome to this edition of Let's Talk About It. My guest today is Miss Jurni Rayne. Jurni, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, Jurni, you reign from Dallas, Texas, right?
That is correct. Born and raised in Dallas. I do travel a lot. I've studied abroad in some other countries, but Dallas is home.
Dallas is home.
Yes.
Now, from what I understand, your name is pretty synonymous with Dallas. A lot of people are talking about Jurni Rayne in Dallas and what
Really?
she does. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. That's good to hear.
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of good things about you.
Okay, good deal.
Now, you're in the music industry. How did you actually get started in the How old were you, rather, when you got started in the music industry?
Did he just ask a woman how old anything? I don't
When
know.
she started in the music industry.
But then if I tell you how old I was then, and you ask how long I've been doing it, then you put the math together, and
see, there's a science to this thing.
I'm
figuring all this out.
I was 4 years old.
Fresh out your mama's womb, huh?
Right. Well, actually, my dad, let him tell it, I started singing when I was 4. I wrote a song called My Name is Birdie. That was the only, because my nickname is Bird. So I never really wanted to do music. My dad was a musician, but he also worked a full job. He worked for the Environmental Protection Agency. So he'd go to work 6 o'clock in the morning, get off, change clothes, go to the club. So we didn't see him that often.
Okay.
And I said, I don't want to do music because then I'd never get to see my family.
Right.
So I ended up going to school, got a degree, got 2 degrees, majored in hospitality administration and Spanish.
Okay.
And I started managing at Papado. So I would go to Papado, and we have the silly little birthday song, you know, the happy birthday. Nobody likes to do that. So a server came up to me. He said, hey, you know, I'll pay you $5 to sing happy birthday to my table. And I did it. And so then, you know, everybody else wanted me to sing, and then people want me to sing love songs, want to propose, that kind of thing. So finally, my regulars would be like, well, what are you doing here? You should audition for American Idol. You should do this. You should do this. You should be singing. You shouldn't be, you know, in restaurant management and all that kind of thing. So I decided to go out on a limb and see what I could do with music.
Is that right?
That is correct.
And the rest is history, as they say.
No.
History is still being written.
Right.
All right.
The rest is prehistory, post-history, all that history.
That. You know, I want to go back just for a second. Now, you had a degree in hospitality. Say that again.
Hospitality administration.
Hospitality administration. Tell me a little bit more about hospitality administration and how you had the interest to even pursue a...
It's 2 parts to that. You have the lodging, your hotels, and then you have restaurant management and food preparation. Well, I didn't go to school to do hospitality. I went to school, my senior year in high school, I was rear-ended by a lady who didn't have insurance, and I ended up having to go to a physical therapist. After 3 visits, I got a $1,600 bill. And I said, oh, wow. I'm going to be a physical therapist. So I went, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do, you know, pre-med, but my heart just isn't in medicine. So I decided I would teach. Okay. My mom always said I was a really good teacher. People are receptive to me when I'm trying to show them something. I said, okay, cool, I'm going to be a teacher. Then I found out I didn't like other people's kids.
She said she found out she don't like other people's kids.
Right. I'm like, wait a minute.
That is too funny.
You know, so, and then, you know, it's so many different ways people raise their children, and it's one way I think, you know, things should be done. So I said, okay, well, this isn't for me. And my first job when I was 18, I wasn't allowed to work in high school. So when I was 18, I started waiting tables at a restaurant called Cheddar's.
Cheddar's, yeah.
We would always eat there, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to work here.
Those rolls, those croissants, oh my God. I will go to that place just to get the croissants and just tear them up. It's like my meal.
When I started there, they hadn't even started making the croissants.
Oh, really?
I was at Cheddar's like a long time ago.
So you don't know nothing about the croissants?
I do. I was there when they introduced them, when they rolled that menu out. I worked at Cheddar's. I worked at Cheddar's off and on for about 5 years. And while I was working there, I was going to school, and I was like, okay, I'll do hospitality administration, restaurant, because it's something I love to do.
Right.
And I'm already experienced. I started bartending at 18, so I already knew. By the time I was 20, I was already doing supervising work. I was doing helping out with payroll, so I already knew the system. And graduated, got my degree. Told Cheddar's, okay, I have a degree. You don't have to have a degree to manage there, though. And I got my degree. I'm ready. They kept losing my application. You know, couldn't find. We're on a hiring freeze. They had all these excuses. So I was like, all right, look, y'all got 2 more months, and then I'm going to Papado.
Okay.
Went to Papado, and they like snatched me up
just like that. Huh?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny in life. A lot of times, different things happen to take you to the next place or the next journey.
Right.
No pun intended. That's a part of your life. So that's kind of how it's a domino effect. This thing happened, and another thing happened, and it pushes you closer to your destiny.
Right.
It's one of the things that I've learned in life. What's next for you?
Oh wow. There are so many things next for me. Like my mom always says, "Oh, you won't let grass grow under your feet." I'm always doing something. Right now, I'm spearheading my nonprofit organization called the Felicity Project.
Okay.
And I also plan to open my own chain of lounges and restaurants. And
Wow.
basically, what I want to do with music, because I love music, what I want to do is kind of make those connections. So when I do have the lounge, I can say, "Hey, I want y'all to come out, eat, come perform, or whatever the case may be."
Right.
So I have a lot of things in store.
You aspire to do a lot.
A lot. And I'm going to do everything that I want to do.
I think that's fantastic. And that's what it's all about. Life is about doing the things in life that you want to do. And so often people go to their graves with their dreams and their visions because they don't act on them while they have breath in their body.
Right, which is the main reason I decided to pursue music, because I've always loved it. I play flute, guitar, piano, and I sing. So I've always loved music, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do it, because you're supposed to go to school, go to college, get a degree, work in your degree field, get married, have kids, and then tell your kids to do the same thing. And I am so not in agreement with this this thing that society has put in our heads. So.
Yeah. And I like that, and that makes you a trailblazer. And so often in society we try to be the cookie cutter next person type of thing.
Right.
But I say it often, it's not the people that's the cookie cutter that you get noticed or get recognized, but when you're a little different than the average person, that's what gets you recognized. I say it all the time. So I definitely appreciate a person like yourself.
That means we agree on something.
We agree on something. So we done connected a little bit here. Now we ain't agree all the time. Jurni, you're pretty cool. I'm enjoying my interview with you.
Thank you.
I'm enjoying my interview with you.
I am so happy to be here.
Coming
to America is one of my favorite movies.
And she's got a little accent. Go ahead, do that again. She says she's so glad to be here.
It's Coming to America.
Sister, and it's so glad to have you. You want to play the game? I can play the game with you.
See, look, he just catches right
Exactly. I'm that kind of dude. Very versatile.
I don't want to go into the other accents.
No, we going to stay away. Well, I don't know what they are. I did good to understand what you just did.
We do this whole interview in Spanish, and I'm okay with that.
And I'm lost. She had to get another host, Ricardo Montalban or somebody, because I just couldn't do it. So how long are you going to be in Houston?
I'm actually leaving today, and then I'll be back on the 22nd. I have a performance on Milam Street. I think the place is called Envy, and it's a rooftop party.
Okay.
And there's an event in Dallas called Moscato Music Lounge, where basically they showcase different artists, and once a year they bring it to Houston. So this year is going to be June 22nd.
Okay, so you're going to be one of the featured artists.
Yes.
Is that right?
That is correct.
Well, we might have to try to make it out there and check you out. Yeah.
Good deal.
Now I know that you play several different instruments. Do you like playing instruments better than putting vocals to it, or are they equally the same?
I would prefer to sing. I have a band. I have an all-girl band, and I have to watch myself, because I'll get lazy and be like, all right, y'all learn all the songs, and then I just sing everything.
Okay.
So I have to make sure I incorporate songs into the set that make me have to play my guitar. And that way, I get to do both of them, right? And then people are a little bit more lenient when you do both instruments. You may mess up on a note, but it's okay because you're playing the guitar. Or you might hit a wrong note on the piano, but it's okay because you're singing. So
a slight distraction,
right? But if it were up to me, I would just sing.
Is that right?
I would when I'm with my band. I don't mind doing acoustic sets, but when I have the band with me, I'll get lazy.
I understand. I'm really enjoying this interview. Guess what, folks? We'll be back in just a moment with more of Jurni Rayne. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss the rest of the show. Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk About It with my guest today, Miss Jurni Rayne. Jurni Rayne, welcome back to the show, baby.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're having a great conversation. We're learning a little bit more about Jurni and her journey in music. She hails from Dallas, Texas, and from what I understand, she's gotten pretty popular in the city of Dallas, Texas, and beyond. One of the things I want to ask you about is somebody by the name of Veronica Butler.
I don't know who that is. No, I'm kidding. Veronica Butler is my government name. And it's interesting because when I first decided to pursue music, I was like, okay, if you're going to be serious about this, you need a name.
Okay.
Because I was listening, I was like, Music Soul Child, that's not his name. Erykah Badu, her name is Erica White. So it was just like all these things. So I said, I need a name. So I'm going through, I came up with some of the most, I'm not going to say ridiculous, but I just did. Because some other people might name themselves this, but it didn't go for me. I was like, okay, I'll be Patience I don't have any patience. So that didn't work for me.
So you would have been lying to folks.
Right, or I originally chose patience because I wanted it to be me. Like, I was like, okay, well, I need to practice patience, so I'll go by patience. And I'm like, no, that doesn't work. Righteous, some, like, just some real crazy, like, out-of-the-box stuff. And I was like, well, I like Jurni. And I called my friend, I said, hey, I think I'm going to be Jurni. And she said, well, you can't be Jurni because there's already a band out called Jurni. I said, yeah, I know, but they're a band. And I said, well, I'll spell it different. So back to the drawing board. So I'm like, right now, all these different phonetic spellings of Jurni, and I come up with Jurni. And then I was like, well, I need a last name. So I just threw, Rayne just popped up out of nowhere. So, and I figured I would spell it phonetically with 5 letters as well. So that's where Jurni Rayne came from. And I am still Veronica Butler. We are one and the same.
Got you. I think it's good that you can come up with a different name. I know so many artists do that. And, you know, you think their name is one thing, but when you go back through their Wikipedia, you find out, oh, I thought her name was Kelly Rowland. And then you find out it's Calandria or something different.
Right.
You know, but people
we're
know
business.
Kelly.
We're business. So when you're doing business you have to have a name for your business. So because music, or having a music career is technically a business, you have to file taxes, you have to do, you know, all this other stuff. You want to cover all your bases. So you do want to have the name registered, and it really needs to be separate from your government because Jurni Rayne's tax ID number
totally
needs
separate.
to be different from Veronica Butler's tax ID number, which is a social.
Gotcha.
So I think that's probably one of, I don't know if that's why. I just made that up.
But you know what? It sounded good. So we can call her an actress, and we call her a vocalist, and an instrumentalist,
a philanthropist, a maker of Vegas.
There you go. Wear many hats. You know, I want to ask you, I'm hearing a lot about your music. How would you describe your music?
I used to say that when the sultry sounds of India Arie's acoustic soul caught glances with Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill, it created a chemistry called Jurni Rayne. I think my sound is very neo-pop. My influences range from classical to country to pop to R&B to soul music. So it's really a fusion. But people don't like fusions. People like for you to be in a box. So I get neo soul. I get India Arie a lot because she is a really big influence of mine. And I play guitar as well. So and then we chocolate, you know, we do chocolate.
All that. Which leads me to my next question. I wanted to ask you what artists that are out there right now that are influential to you, or that you actually look up to or aspire to be similar to in your journey.
Babyface.
Babyface?
And people are always surprised when they hear me say that, but he is, to me, is one of the most talented business music people out there. He wrote every song on the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack except My Funny Valentine. Every single song. Like, that's impressive. So he's also a musician. He's a writer. He's a businessman, you know. Pretty much created Toni Braxton. So I really admire him as an overall business person.
Right.
As far as music or musicians or like lyrically, it's so many people out there. Like, I can't even start to name them. Kenny Chesney is I'm a really big Kenny Chesney fan. I love Lauryn Hill, love India Arie. Of course, Jill Scott. I like Maxwell, so I like all the soul singers.
So it seems like you tend to lean toward the neo soul kind of vibe.
When it comes to listening to music, I am heavily neo soul and I'm heavily easy listening. Nora Jones, John Mayer, Kobe Calais, Corinne Bailey Rae. And Emily Sandé, a newer artist. I love her music too. So it's, you know, I'm kind of that adult contemporary easy listening. So on all color spectrums.
Is that right?
You know, all genre spectrums.
Now, a minute ago you mentioned Babyface and Waiting to Exhale. His association with the movie industry. Now, from what I understand, you just recently had one of your songs in a feature film.
Yes.
How did you get the opportunity to do that?
I used to say it was luck, but I choose to call it destiny. I play around on YouTube like a lot of people, and so somebody saw me on YouTube, and we ended up meeting at an event, and she said, "Oh, well, I have a friend who used to manage people, but she doesn't anymore, so maybe she'd be interested in listening to you." So she tell her friend, listen. So finally, 3 months later, the friend listened. She had a friend who was the manager of the director of the movie The Last Fall. And they were looking for independent artists to actually do the movie. And what's interesting is I originally was up to do it with someone else. Like,
really?
somebody else may have possibly gotten it, so they called and they were like, well, do you have anything? They wanted to know if I already had anything, but I didn't because I had just started. So I was like, well, give me 30 minutes. So, I played the song, wrote a hook, recorded it on my cell phone, sent it over, and they were like, we love it, you got it. So
wow, just like that.
Just like that. It took me about 30 minutes to write that hook for the song.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow. It's amazing what you can get accomplished in a short period of time sometimes, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when you're not working. I was quote unquote unemployed. Mm-hmm. So I was just kind of chilling at my parents' house and
right.
And so when you don't have to think, oh, what I have to wear to work, what do I have to do, what's on my desk,
yeah,
then you can concentrate and just
it clears your mind to do a lot of the things, especially when you're a creative person.
Right.
No doubt. Now you have a song. I think is it called When It Happens, or
What Happens When?
What Happens When? Tell me a little bit more about that song.
The song is basically I wrote that song for the movie, but it was easy for me to write it because it was something that I was kind of going through in my life. Okay. The song is basically when you are running into all these trials and tribulations, maybe there's something that you need to do in your life to fix what's going on. You know how somebody's like, I was driving one day. Mm-hmm. I said, oh my God, this guy's driving crazy. This person's driving crazy. Everybody's driving crazy. Then I looked and noticed that I was going about 7 miles over the speed limit. Once I slowed down to the speed limit, nobody was driving crazy anymore. And so that's the same way I felt when I was at this time in my life, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Like, nothing is working out positive for me. So the premise of the song is wake up before you hit the ground. And so the chorus is, what happens when the walls start closing in until you just can't breathe. You're spinning around so dizzy till you just can't see. You're falling, tumbling down. You can't figure out what's going on. Wake up before you hit the ground. And it's basically just to change your perception. And it's not always everybody else. Sometimes you have to change your perception to figure out what you need to do to accomplish what you need to accomplish.
You know what? You said a mouthful. You said a mouthful. And I think that's something that our audience can actually walk away with, to take a look at themselves when they see chaos in their lives. And a lot of times we invite chaos through the things that we do.
Right.
But we don't always want to own up to it. And in your case, you were speeding a little bit faster than you were supposed to. And so many other things were going on around you. And I think that's true to regular life. And I think we can apply that to other situations in our lives on a daily basis, actually, when you think about it. This kind of reminds me of a friend of mine who sometimes has road rage. And it cracks me up because whenever I hear stories like your story, it makes me think about her.
Right.
And I won't go too far into the story, but she's been practicing like at a gun range. And so sometimes she gets a little excited. And
I don't want to drive next to her.
No, you don't want to drive next to her. No, That's when you want to really slow it down 7 miles less than what you were going, because she'll whip it out and want to shoot you like a Madea kind of thing.
Right.
And we don't want none of that to happen. We're going to be right back in just a moment with more of Let's Talk About It with my wonderful guest, Miss Jurni Rayne. Thanks so much. We'll see you in a moment. Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk About It with my wonderful guest today, Miss Jurni Rayne, who hails from the city of Dallas, Texas. Welcome back, Jurni.
I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad to have you back. Now, Jurni, before the show is over, you got to play some music for us or something, right?
Yes.
All right. What song are you going to sing for us?
I don't know. It's just whatever.
Of course, I could be wrong, but I'm assuming. How did Ava get her name?
She just looked like an Ava. I name everything. Like, I'm one of those people who name everything. Like, my tablet's name is Gypsy. Like, I name everything. And so, all my cars, everything. So, I have 5 guitars. And the first one I had it was like a little cheap brand, but the name on the brand was Carlo Robelli. So, I wanted her to have a Hispanic name. So, I named her Araceli. And then when I got another guitar, and I was like, that looks like an Anise, So and then after that, I was like, well, everybody's names start with A, so I have like this little kind of show electric guitar. Her name is Asada. Uh-huh. And I have Ava, and then I purchased a guitar for a friend, and she wanted lessons, but she never played. So I just kind of took that back. But I didn't take it. It's like both our guitars. It just
so
stayed
it's
with
shared.
me.
It's a shared guitar.
Yes, but it just stayed with me. So, and her name is Olivia.
Olivia.
Olivia with an A, though.
So in essence, you have actually created a family of instruments.
Yes.
With names. Do y'all have the same name? Are they kin to each other? They like same name?
They're like all sisters. Yeah. It's kind of like, you know, when people have dogs. I have guitars. I don't have to feed them. I don't have to take them out.
Yeah, you gotta walk them.
I just
you
change
gotta
the strings
strum them every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strum them. You know what? When I see people playing guitars, I always think their fingers gotta hurt. Because don't you do like that there?
This hand doesn't. What hurts is the hand that actually makes the notes because the strings are so hard. So you end up growing calluses on your fingertips, and that it gets kind of painful. But after you've played so long, you don't feel it anymore.
Really?
You just have hard fingertips.
Let me feel your fingertips.
They're not that bad. They kind of like rough at the tops.
Now they actually are soft, so she must lotion them down or cocoa butter them or
lotion,
something.
manicures. You just because I don't want the hard, ugly calluses.
Right. Well, you're too beautiful for hard, ugly calluses on your hand.
Yeah.
Don't get the big head. Don't get the big head. Just because you cute. I know people tell you all the time.
I probably, but I don't notice. I'm not a. I really don't. I don't. I was geeky in high school.
Is that right?
Yeah, this is what I was told recently.
Okay.
I ran across a girl I graduated with. She was like, "Oh my God, Veronica Butler, you were so geeky." Or like, or when people see me now, they're like, "Oh my God, you look great." And I'm like, I must have been busted and disgusted in high school because now everybody's like "Oh, you look great." And I'm like, "Okay," but y'all didn't tell me then. Y'all didn't tell me, and you might want to comb your hair or something. Nobody told me.
Nobody said that. See, at first, you know, it's like what's that song? At first y'all didn't want me, but now I'm hot. Y'all up on me.
That's funny.
Oh, what? Started from the bottom, now we here? Started from the bottom, now we here.
Right,
yeah, okay.
right.
I ain't cool enough to sing that, but you know what I'm saying. I'm really enjoying this interview. You know what? We're going to be right back with a little bit more of Veronica in just a moment, so you guys can get to hear her gift of voice and song. All right, we'll be back in just a moment with more of Miss Jurni Rayne. Hello, and welcome back to Let's Talk About It. I told you about my wonderful artist, Miss Jurni Rayne. All right, now I present to you the wonderful artist, Miss Jurni Rayne.
All right, so I don't know if y'all. This is Ava. Everybody say hi to Ava.
Hi,
Ava. I gotta do like Dora the Explorer. She say, "Everybody say hi." Okay. So the song that I'm going to play is a song that I wrote. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the TV show Martin, but there's a character named Tommy, and they always say Tommy ain't got no job. So my friends call me Tommy because I don't have a job. So I wrote this song for them. All right, here we go. You worry about how I spend my time. Talk about me cause I don't have a dime. But I stay on my grind. Hustle real hard just to ease my mind. Don't worry about the things I do cause they really don't concern you. Just let me do me, and I promise I'll let you be. I don't want to get no job, don't want a 9 to 5. I ain't about that life. Trust me, I'm doing fine. Don't want to get no job, don't want a 9 to 5. Can't pay my bills on time. Tip me and I'll be fine. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate all the job leads you send my way. Girl, you better call my job. They pay $25 an hour. You say the hourly wage is great, and I can start any day. But what you don't understand is that's not a part of my plan. I don't want to get no job, don't want a 9 to 5. I ain't about that life. Trust me, I'm doing fine. Don't want to get no job, don't want a 9 to 5. Can't pay my bills on time. Get my CD and I'll be fine. I know all my hard work will pay. I'll just keep on pushing, taking it day by day. I know all my hard work will pay. I won't ever give up, no matter what they say. Don't want to get no job, don't want a 9 to 5. I ain't about that life. Trust me, I'm doing fine. Don't want to wanna get no job, don't want a 9 to 5, can't pay my bills on time. Tip me and I'll be fine. That was Tommy, so
Hey!
y'all be looking for that. We will be doing a video, and that'll be recorded very soon.
All right, all right, all right, all right. I hope you guys enjoyed Miss Jurni Rayne as much as I did. Thanks so much for joining me on this edition of Let's Talk About It. And until next time, we'll see you then. Thanks so much. Oh, and for more information on the show and Jurni Rayne, you can reach us at Let's Talk About It 12tv@gmail.com. That's Let's Talk About It 12tv@gmail.com. All right, we'll see you next time.